Okay, so let's have our fourth lesson in General Physics 2, which is all about current, resistance, and electromotive force. So in the last lesson, we have learned about capacitance and dielectrics, which is the ability to store electric charge. So capacitance is the ability to store an electric charge, and the capacitor stores charge using two plates separated by an insulating material called a dielectric. So the key idea in the previous lesson is that electric charge can be stored. So alam na natin yon, no, without flowing. But electricity is not only stored, no, it can also move. Okay? So for charges to move, they need a push, no, a force of push, and of course a path, no, in which electricity can flow. So in this next lesson, we will begin learning about current, resistance, and electromotive force, which will help explain how electricity or electric charges flow in what we call a circuit. Okay? Ayan. So, for us to understand current, resistance, and electromotive force, we use the simple rule called Ohm's law. So Ohm's law was given by a German physicist, George Simon Ohm, in 1827. It shows the relationship between current, resistance, and voltage across an electric circuit. So Ohm's law states that the voltage across a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. It provided that all physical conditions and temperature remains constant. So Ohm's law is again introduced by the German scientist named George Simon Ohm in 1827, and this law explains how current, resistance, and electromotive force, or also known as voltage, are connected in an electric circuit. Okay? Ayan. So in simple terms, Ohm's law says that the voltage, si volts, ayan, si voltage, si voltage serves as the push, in our circuit. Siya yung nagsisilbing, siya ang nagsisilbing tagatulak, ng ating electricity. Okay? In our circuit. Ayan. Now, if the voltage increases or the push increases, the current flow also increases. Asan na yung mouse ko? Ayan. The current flow also increases, no? Pag malakas ang voltage, mas malakas yung flow ng current. Okay? This happens, as long as the material and the temperature stays the same. So, kung hindi naman magbabago yung material natin and at the same time, yung temperature of the material will not change, the flow of current will stay the same. Okay? Ayan. Now, in the presence of resistance or the resistance R, ito yan. Yan. Si resistance siya yung nagsisilbing inhibitor of the flow of charge. So, pag sinabing inhibitor, pinipigilan niya, yung pag-flow ng charge. So, it affects how easy or hard it is for the current to flow. So, as we can see here, if the resistance increases, the current decreases. So, kung mas lumalakas yung pagpigil ng resistance, ng mga resistor, sa pag-flow ng current, of course, pagbagal yung pag-flow ng charge o yung pag-flow ng current. Okay? So, yun yung binabanggit sa Ohm's law. Okay? Ayan. So, Ohm's law will help us understand and predict how electricity behaves in a circuit. Okay? Ohm's law helps us how voltage, current, and resistance work together in an electrical circuit. So, Ohm's law can be expressed in a mathematical formula. Yan, mathematically as V is equals to IR. So, V is for voltage, which is the push, no, that makes electrons move, and it can be represented by the symbol V or E. E is for electromotive force. Electromotive force is just an old term for voltage. So, ang dating katawagan sa voltage ay electromotive force. Okay? And the unit of measurement for voltage is volts. Okay? I is current, and current is the rate of flow of electrons. So, kung gaano siya kabilis dumaloy sa isang circuit. Okay? And it is represented by the letter I. I is meaning is for intensity. Kung gaano ba kalakas, kahina ang flow ng ating charge. And the unit of measurement for current is ampere or AMP or letter A. Next, we have R is which is resistance. No, it is the quantity which slows down. No, from the word itself, resistance, resist. No, slows down or resist the flow of charge, and it is represented by letter R. No, and the unit of measurement is ohms. Ohms, which is named after George Simon Ohm, and represented by the symbol, ito yung mukhang, tawag dito? Sapatos ng kabayo, which is the Greek letter for omega. Okay? So, the formula, V is equals to IR, tells us that the voltage across a circuit depends on how much the current is flowing in a circuit, and at the same time how much resistance is present, no, in that circuit. Okay, ayan. So let's move on to this derivation of formulas. So how are we going to derive formula for other quantities using the Ohm's law formula? Kasi ang binigay lang sa atin na formula is V is equals to IR. How about how are we going to get the formula for I and R? So we can derive, no, formula for other quantities using Ohm's law as well. So we will again, no, use the triangle method if naaalala nyo pa, no? Triangle method, as you all know, no, it is composed of course, a triangle wherein it involves three quantities. Okay? The horizontal line represents the division, then the vertical line represents the multiplication. Ayan. So, to derive formula for other quantities, kailangan nating i-cover kung ano yung nawawala o hinahanap. So, in this case, example, what is missing in our problem is voltage, no? Cover natin si voltage. Then, kung anong natitira na equation, yun yung magiging formula. So, to find voltage, no, V is equals to IR. So, again, yung horizontal line, vertical line represents, no, multiplication. Then, what if we are looking for the current? So, what would be the formula? What is left is V and R, and the operation is division. So, the formula for current is I is equals to V over R. Okay? For resistance naman, tatakpan natin si R. What is left is VI, and the operation is division. So, the formula is R is equals to V over I. Okay? So, ganun lang po. Ganun lang mag-derive, no, ng formula using triangle method. So, we can always use triangle method where there is three quantities, no, na formula. Pag laging tatlo ang ating nasa formula, no, pwede natin gamitin si Ohm's law. So, paano natin malalaman kung sino ang ilalagay sa taas at sa ibaba? Lagi nyo titignan yung initial formula. Kagaya ito, si VIR. So, sabi nga natin, no, IR, no, it shows na ang operation nito is multiplication. So, automatically, sila yung nasa baba. Kasi ang nasa baba is, ang operation ay multiplication. Okay? Ayan. So, that's how we use triangle method. So, let's try. So let's try to solve a problem, no, using Ohm's law. Okay? Ayan. So we have a simple circuit wherein we have our given. The voltage is 12 volts. The resistance is 600 ohm. So what is missing is our current. Okay? And again, knowing our triangle method, we can derive formula for current. So our formula for current is I is equals to V over R. Now, substituting the given values, I is equal to 12 volts over or divided by 600 ohm. So 12 divided by 600, the answer would be 0.02 amperes. Okay, so wag natin kakalimutan, let us make sure na tama ang ating unit na ginagamit. So I or current is amperes. Okay? Ayan. Another one. Ayan. So another one. So we have given of current 1 ampere and resistance 13 ohm. So what would be the voltage? So the formula for voltage is V is equals to I R. Okay? Now substituting the values, ano ba yung nawawala yung mouse ko? Substituting the values, so V is equals to 1 ampere multiplied by 13 ohms. The answer would be 13 volts. Okay? Ayan. Next, another. Ayan. So we have a given of 4 amperes, 8 volts, and what is missing is our resistance. So again, knowing our triangle method, the formula for resistance is R is equals to V over I. Substituting the given, R is equals to 8 volts divided by 4 amperes. The answer would be 8 divided by 4 is 2 ohms. Okay? Ayan. So next, let's talk about the important electrical engineering applications of Ohm's law. So actually, ito na yung last part nito. So ganun lang tayo kabilis. No, ang medyo mahaba is yung susunod na lesson. So dito na tayo sa important electrical engineering applications of Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is not just a formula. So, hindi lang siya basta formula na kailangan nating maging aware, no, to understand voltage, resistance, and current. It is actually used in many real-life electrical and engineering situations, no? So, what is the first importance of application, no, of Ohm's law? Number one is for circuit design. Ohm's law helps engineers, no, choose the right parts for a circuit, such as the wires, the right resistors, and fuses. So, because of understanding Ohm's law, no, it will help engineers, no, to ensure that the circuit will work properly, no, and does not overheat or break because they choose the right parts, no. They choose the right components containing the right values, no, for the resistors, for the fuse, for the voltage, for the bulb, no. So it will help them to design a proper circuit, no, a proper circuit design that will not cause, no, any problem or overheat or breakage. Okay? Ayan. Meaning right parts is equivalent to safe in a working circuit. Number two, second important application of Ohm's law is that for diagnosing faults. Ano ba pag sinabi nating diagnosing, no? For identifying faults. So, in a circuit, when something goes wrong, di ba? Engineers, hindi naman agad nila i-dispose eh. Engineers measures the voltage and the current. Okay? So, aalamin nila, tama ba? Bakit nagka-problema? Tama ba yung values ng voltage and current natin? So, if the values are not what the Ohm's law predicts. Kasi we can calculate for the values, di ba? So if it is not what the values that Ohm's law predicts, no, it means that the component is wrong, or kung tama naman ang prediction, nagtutugma naman sa values pero hindi gumagana, probably the component may be damaged, no, or the device is actually damaged, no, posibleng open circuit kasi hindi naman maiwasan yan eh, lalo na kung luma na yung example wire, no, may tendency na pwede yung manitnit, no, mangitnit na ng daga, 'di ba, maging open wire, 'di ba? So because of that, it can cause faults, no, in our devices, no. So if, no, engineers were able to identify na tama yung values, wala namang mali sa ginawa nilang components, no, probably the components is damaged, no, the components are damaged, or either, no, the device is damaged. Okay, ayan. Number 3 importance of Ohm's law is that for sensor selection. So sensor selection, Ohm's law helps understand. It helps engineers to understand, to choose the right values, no, for components such as resistors, no, when using, let's say, yung tinatawag na ganyan, sensors and amplifiers. Yung sensors is yung nakaka-detect, no, ng mga bagay-bagay. And amplifiers, these are yung nagbo-boost, no, ng mga electricity, or let's say converts electricity into something else. So it allows engineers, no, to choose the right resistors, no, resistor values for when using sensors. Okay, so this allows sensors to give accurate readings such as temperature and light sensors. Kasi kung hindi tugma ang values ng mga components na ginagamit sa example, yan, yung mga sensors, yung mga nagde-detect, of course, hindi siya magkakaroon ng right reading. Okay, hindi magiging accurate yung readings natin. Example, yung thermal thermal yung thermometer, yung ginagamit nung pandemic, ewan ko kung na-experience nyo yon, yung parang baril siya, diba? Yung device na yon, meron din yung mga components, may mga electrical component yan. Now, if the resistor values are not correct, no, with the sensors, no, it will not give an accurate reading. Okay? It will not give an accurate temperature. Baka posibleng wala ka namang lagnat pero doon sa sensor nagdideliryo ka na. Kasi nga hindi nagtutugma yung values ng component doon sa device. Okay? So correct values for components is equivalent to accurate measurement as well. Okay? Number 4. Fourth important application of Ohm's law is for battery circuits. Ayan. So Ohm's law is used to calculate how much current a battery can supply to a device. No? It can also help determine how much power is used so that the battery does not drain too fast or overheat. So ano ibig sabihin nito? Of course, if you have the knowledge on calculating kung ano ba talaga ang proper values for a specific device, no, may iwasan natin yung mabilis na pagka-drain ng mga gamit, no. Example, you used a light bulb na 12 watts. No, yung power niya 12 watts sa sa battery na 9 volts. Can you expect na ang bulb na yon liliwanag? Of course not. 'Di ba? Kasi hindi kaya ng 9 volts pailawin ang isang bumbilya na 12 watts. Okay? O kung umilaw man siya, sabi nga dito, no, the battery will drain fast. So, baka pagka-spark niya pagkaliwanag niya ng ganyan, after, wala nang kasunod. Kasi, na-used up na nung device, no? Na-use up na ng device yung mismong supply. Okay? So, understanding Ohm's law, okay, will help us determine how much current a battery can supply to a device. Okay? At mas madali para nating magamit yung mga bagay-bagay. Okay? Hindi natin naiiwasang mabilis na pupundi o mabilis na sisira kasi also that is one factor, no, that can cause our devices to, you know, be faulty. Number five. Number five, important application of Ohm's law is for electrical safety. Actually, number one to eh. Number one talaga ang electrical safety, no, na application ng Ohm's law. So, Ohm's law explains how high voltage or low resistance can cause dangerous currents. Okay? So, this helps engineers design systems that will prevent, no, yung mga electrical accidents such as yung electric shock, um, electric fires, no, and equipment damage. Number one yan, no, kailangan malaman ng mga engineers, no, kung tama ba yung ginagamit nilang values for the components in electricity kasi unang-una, of course, kailangan nilang maiwasan yung trahedya. Okay? So, that's the number one application of understanding Ohm's law. We need to be safe. Kasi ang electricity is, oo nga naman, nakakamatay. Okay? Ayan. Number 6, power transmission. So, lastly, we have power transmission. Ohm's law will help make sure that the electrical power o yung kuryente is being transmitted efficiently through our power lines. So, meron tayong kuryente, diba? Yan, meron tayong mga electrical providers. Yung Meralco, yan. So, understanding Ohm's law will help engineers, no, to understand how to transmit electricity or the power itself, no, efficiently sa ating mga kable. So from the source, which is yung planta nila, ayan, from Meralco, kailangan maintindihan nila paano maipapasa sa atin yung kuryente, no, efficiently. So pag sinabi nating efficiently, ibig sabihin, no, yung walang nasasayang, 'di ba? Na naipapasa ng maayos, na ipapasa ng sapat. Okay? So, by knowing the proper components such as the resistance, load matching, which is yung volts, no, will reduce what we call energy loss. So, pag sinabing energy loss, ito yung mga enerhiya na nasasayang. And kung titignan po ninyo ang inyong mga resibo, no, ng kuryente, makikita po ninyo na meron po doong tinatawag na energy loss. Okay? So, para sa normal na tao, hindi nila naiintindihan kung ano yung tinatawag na energy loss. Energy loss is yung mga enerhiya na nasasayang at hindi natin nagagamit because of hindi maayos o hindi natatransmit yung power, no, efficiently papunta sa ating mga households. And that's part of our yung tawag dito, yung resibo. 'Di ba? So medyo mautak itong mga Meralco na ito kasi we are paying for something na hindi naman natin nagamit, na loss nga eh. 'Di ba? So it's up to them, it's their job, no, to identify how to transfer power or electricity, no, efficiently, 'di ba? Pero ano nangyayari? Tayo nagbabayad para doon, 'di ba? So if engineers are able to transmit, no, or understand Ohm's law properly, no, they will efficiently transfer power from their plant into our household, and there will be less energy wasted. Of course, no? Mas konti ang masasayang na kuryente kasi nga maayos nilang naipapasa, naisasalin to, tubig yan, naipapasa, no, yung kuryente mula sa kanilang planta papunta sa atin. Okay? Ayan. So, if you are curious enough, no, to know about this energy loss, no, paki-check na lang sa inyong mga resibo, makikita nyo dyan. Ayan. So, to sum up, no, these are the importance, no, na ng gamit, no, ng Ohm's law. So hindi lang siya basta mahirapan tayong mag-compute, but of course to understand how this can be used in many real life situations. Okay? So Ohm's law helps electricity to work safely, correctly, and of course, no, efficiently in our daily life. Okay? Ayan. So, yun lang. 10 pages lang ang ating fourth lesson. Ayan. So, you can expect in the quiz, on the online quiz, no, meron dyan mga computation. So, I hope you do understand how to solve these quantities. Okay? So, any questions so far? Any questions po? So, kung wala naman pong tanong, ayan, wait lang ha. Hindi ko na naman ah. So, kung wala naman pong tanong, ayan, thank you so much again sa inyong dalawa sa pag-attend sa ating meet, no? So, kung wala na pong tanong, you can now leave the meet. Goodbye. Thank you.